Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to Modded Megaquarium. I think we're coming up to maybe the last or second to last episode today of this series, and we're going to be carrying on with this. I think today I want to get most of the decoration in. So we're going to be dealing with the decoration and maybe put a couple more of these pumps into these rooms here. So I'm going to jump straight into this, I think, with probably the easiest ones to do, which are these 6 here. Now over here in the Aztec room, we did very similar designs in these 4 here, but I don't really want to do that. I want to make each one of these a little bit different. Now I'm a little bit concerned because ideally you want to put the fish in first and then put the vegetation in to suit the needs of the fish. So I'm in 2 minds about which way to go with this. I suppose if I put a few fish in, the ones we definitely know we want in there, then we can work around them, and then we can play around with some of the design features as well. So this may be a bit of a longer episode today, depending on how it goes. I may do a fair few cuts and try and work out a proper design for this place. Between episodes I have added in a few of these food and drinks machines around the area, and I've put a coffee machine down here as well, just to change things up a little bit in here. I have also made some changes to the rest of the place, mainly in that I have got rid of all of the people. Every single guest in here has been sent home. I went into debug mode and I was able to send them home in debug mode. So there are 0 guests in this aquarium at the moment. All of the staff are still here, they're all still working. However, because I've run for a few days, I haven't worked out the zoning properly. And a fair few fish did end up dying. We lost 4 fish in that. So we lost a leafy sea dragon, Mayer's butterfly fish, purple queen amphias. So there are a fair few things I'm going to have to go through between this episode and the next episode, which will probably be the finale. And what I'm planning on doing is coming right down here to the entrance and doing a first person time-lapse throughout this entire aquarium. However, as you can see, even with no guests in, this is a crawl. If I face this way, it's absolutely fine, no problem at all. But as you get further and further into the aquarium, it just crawls down, so I don't know if I'm actually able to do a first-person time-lapse at all. I've got a fair few things running in the background at the moment, so that doesn't help. But it is going to be a real challenge to try and do this. So what I want you to do today, I always ask you to write something down in the comments. And we've still got these really strange things here. This is where a tank used to be, like ages and ages ago, before we started changing it up to this design. And these 2 animals were in this tank, which was right here. I've since moved it about 40 episodes ago over to here. But they still, whenever I load the game, end up here. Very weird. Yeah, what I want you to do, write down in the comment section, do you want me to do a full first person walkthrough of this, even if it is very framey? I think it gets down to about 10 frames a second at some point, usually about 20 to 25 frames a second, and then in other places, when I face this way, it's back up at 60 frames a second. So yeah, let me know what you want me to do with that. I would quite like to do a first-person time-lapse video with some music in the background and show you around all of the different rooms here. But yeah, it may be a bit excruciating to watch in places. Let me know. I will do what you guys want. Anyway, let's get into the actual planning of this and putting some fish in. So of course we're going to start with the most obvious things. We're going to start with the sharks. So if we scroll down here to the sharks, we've got a lot of different sharks in here we can choose from. There are a few ones we don't have at all, so we'll just go through these now. Let's have a look at them. Black tip reef shark we do, these ones we do, these ones we do, these ones we do. Yes, yes, yes. Well, lemon sharks, we don't have any of those. They are tropical. We do have an angel shark, but I will probably put some of these into the cold water tank there just to fill it up a bit. We have the hammerhead shark. This is Toxo's creation, which we are going to add into the tropical one, and of course the whale shark here. And that seems like it. So we're going to start with the whale shark. We will add one of those in, and I think it's just going to be a one of those. We only really need one of them in there. I think they do grow really quite big. And I'm hoping that all of these can actually fit into the same tank here without them eating each other. We shall see. The manta ray is definitely one we're going to want in there as well. So I think... let's have a look. They are wimps actually. So is that going to affect anything? None of these sharks seem like they are bullies. So no, that's good, that's good. We will be able to have these in with those. So I'm actually going to put 2 of those in. I quite like those. We're going to have next the hammerhead sharks. We will have... well, we do actually have 3 of those in. We've got those in Toxo's room. But I do quite like the idea of having a couple of those into here. So I'll add a couple of those in as well. Next we want the lemon sharks. Now these are 13 to 90, so we do have a chance of being eaten before they grow up. So we'll just stick a few of those in, and we'll work through the attrition if they do get eaten, because we're not really too worried about reputation now. I'd like some of these to survive up until they are adults, so that then they'll be size 90 when they're adults, but we're only size 13 now. Let's just have a quick look, see if any of these will actually eat. So it's really just because the whale shark doesn't eat anything, that's fine. It's mainly the hammerheads and these size 6 or less. No, that's absolutely fine. And these will grow at the same rate, so when these guys can eat bigger fish, these ones will be much bigger anyway. And then finally the manta ray doesn't eat stuff anyway, so that's fine. Yep, they will all be happy in there together. I don't know whether I want to add anything else in there. I was thinking about the this guy here, but he is cold water. And here's the first guy that I'm going to add in to this. And you can only have one of those in. They don't like being with other things of their own, which is just here. Dislikes congeners, cannot be housed with a cephalopod, so we can't have any of this in, which is a shame because, oh, we do have nautilus. I was going to say we might want some nautilus in here, but we're okay for that. Which one did we say we wanted? It was... if we scroll back up to the sharks, in here the angel shark, this is one. We've only got one of them in the aquarium at the moment. These do grow up to size 64, so we can fit a fair few of them in. Let's put 3 of these guys in, 1, 2 and 3. And they go into random sides when you place them. I don't know if they can actually walk over. No, they definitely can't walk over. Whether they can swim over the top of this, I'm not too sure yet. I don't think they can at the moment, but we shall see once we've got this all running. Before I press play again, I really need to sort out my zoning and my staff, so I need to do that before any more fish die, because yeah, I've had a couple die and it's not too good. Not too good at all. Now in these I'm thinking we need some smaller stuff as well. But the trouble with that is that these things will actually eat them. If we have a look at here, we can see this will eat size 4 or less, and then these, I need to wait until these grow up basically into adults before I can add in the smaller fish. Because we don't really know how big they're going to get. And we can see on here, no, because I'm still in 1.1.5, I don't have the updated tooltips yet, which will say what they will eat when they are grown up. That's one thing that was added in 1.1.6, however this version of the game, well this save file that I'm running, will not run in any other version than 1.1.5. What I may do is try and configure it to work for 1.1.8, I think it's on now, or 1.1.7 when I come to do the time lapse, and I'll see if I can work something out with that. Because I don't need any of the guests in here, I don't need any of that. We may be able to do it in that without it messing up, but we shall see. Anyway, are there any more fish we want to add into these? So let's have a look through. Let me have a look through off camera and I will come back and show you if there's any more I want to add into these, and then we'll work out what is going into there as well. So I've been having a look through all of these different animals in here, and we do actually have one of absolutely everything in the game now within this aquarium, so we don't have to worry about having to add everything in. I've put one more turtle in here because I quite fancy there being a turtle in here, and I like this this room. I like the idea of it being some of the more interesting stuff in here. So rather than just shoving a load of the king demoiselles in here like I usually would, the ones that I really find interesting, stuff like this, the leafy sea dragon here, which we're going to add in down here, and stuff like this which just looks kind of unique and strange and interesting. These pipefish, will these actually fit together? Cannot be housed, so no, these two won't go together. But these guys are fine to be in with other things by the look of it. I mean, they don't have any particular stuff that they need. So we're going to get the leafy sea dragon. I really do need to find out whether that is cold or hot. That is a cold water one. So the cold water stuff is over here. We have 50 in this tank, so these are going to be 6 when they grow up. So we can have a fair few in here. I'm just going to put 3 of those in. They kind of disappear into this tank. We'll bring that up so we can see how many are here. So we've got those into there. I quite fancy having the pipefish in somewhere as well because they are strange and interesting and kind of unique. I think there is a mod that Toxo's brought out that has a lot of different pipefish and a lot of other different types of pipefish in there. However, that is for an updated version. We may get onto another version of this game after we've finished this one. But I think I need a little bit of a break from Megaquarium for a while because I've been at this for a long time now, and it's getting quite a struggle to be able to carry on with this now that I've got it up to this kind of size. It's getting a little bit ridiculous. And I think the next, if I do another series of this, it'll be a much more casual thing. I may end up live streaming it actually. Haven't done live streaming for a long time, so let me know if that would be something you'll be interested in watching, kind of an unedited live stream version of something along these lines, modded Megaquarium. Hopefully on the latest version, 1.1.8 I think it is on now. And we'll see if we can get something going. We have a common starfish here, which I also think would be nice to have the starfish in. So in the centre tanks of each, I'm going to put a couple of these guys into there. Bring up that, make sure we've got 2 in there, yes we do. And then in the other one over here we can add in a couple of these. Just make sure we've got 2 in there, yes we do. So we've got a couple of things in each of these so far. The starfish here need other things in with them. I think they will eat starfish, these won't eat starfish, so I could add the lobster in with the starfish here. I think that might be quite good. So we'll have 2 of those into there. Do these like? Yeah, that's fine. Poor water quality is okay. And then on the other side we are going to need something else. We can't really add in these. I do like these Mandarin Dragonet fish. I really do quite like these. These are very strange fish. Not something you'd see every day. They are an oddball. So we'll add in 1, 2 and 3 of those. And I think that'll be that tank done. That'll be that tank done. Could do with something else in here with the sea dragons. I don't really know what. Do we have many of these? And that's a kind of very greeny type fish. These are up to size 6, so we can't really add in any of these big things. And they are also, no, they're not wimps or anything, they're not bullies. So maybe, no, they're cold water. Don't have any other rays that are cold water. So this is the trouble, just working out what to add in. So all of this is tropical. All of the cold water stuff is round about here. I mean, we may have to just add in some cuckoo wrasse, just to add something in with them. They are 8, so 6 of those would be... No, that'll be 48, that'll be one of these completely. Maybe we do that. We fill one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So that'll just be those in there, nothing else in there, that'll be fine. They need vegetation, we can add all of that in. So yeah, maybe we add just a couple of cuckoo wrasse. Or a couple of ballan wrasse here. They may be quite interesting. We'll add 2 of those in, just to give us something else in there. And then we have the pipefish in here, which these only take up a tiny amount of space each. These are only 4. So we've got 20 points in there so far. We've got another 30 points in there to add if we want it. The nautilus. Ooh. I should have a nautilus in here, shouldn't I? Nautilus. Cannot be housed with any other non-cephalopod. So maybe we don't do that. Maybe we... tell you what I will do. We will back out of that. We'll close... No, we want this one open. I will move these guys. Let's move all of those. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Put those back into there. And then this tank here, we will change. So can I remove these? Which ones are these? How do I remove a tank? Ah yeah, that's it, just right click. So this one I actually want to add on. It's actually this tank here. No, that connects to these ones, I did do it right. So I want to add this tank here to be a cold water one, and we'll add the nautilus into here because they are really strange, really interesting, and we will add these 2 back into there. So we'll actually have 4 cold water and 2 warm water. That'll be okay, that'll be fine. So in this one we want the nautilus, and I think that will do us for 3, 4, 5 and 6. I think that'll be it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Now the only one here is this one, which is a warm water one, which we can have pretty much anything in, I suppose. I do quite fancy the idea though of having maybe these ones just, and that is, you can only have one of those actually. Maybe not those. Let's see. I think we'll go just for the porcupine pufferfish. 2 of these ones in. 1, 2. And in fact we can have 3 because we've got 30 points to spend, and that is 24 points. There we go. So that is all of the fish that I want in here done. So now it's finally time to get round to the decoration. Actually no, first we'll do the pumps. So the first stage we're doing all the pumps and everything here, the filtration, is going to be to fix these guys up here. Now these ones are going to be the large mega double big 2x4 things, and we're going to stick a ton of these around. One there, one there, one there, one there, one here, one here, one here, and one there as well. Oh no. One there. And then in the centre here we can add in I think the way I want to do this is by doing a mega nitrate reactor on either side, and then adding in a large UV thing. And we'll see just how much this is doing. Don't tell me that's done it. Really? That's actually done it. Just that. No. That is far, far less than I thought it would be. I thought we'd need loads more in here. Is that right? That is actually right. There's nothing on here, and that's taken this one up to 95 and this one up to 90 is what they needed for these ones in there, and these all of these are fine. Wow, okay. That's really quite powerful then with that. That is far, far less than I thought I'd need. That's amazing. Really, really cool. So it's actually a lot less of a little scene than I thought it would be here. What I might do though is just add in a little bit of redundancy just to say, because I don't know how much this is above. There's no real good way of telling how far we are above it. So I'm just going to add in, I suppose it would just be a small like basic pump over here connected to that. Come on, connect. Will you not connect? Okay, I'll do a bit of a bigger one. Go for a power pump. It doesn't need to be big. So that'll connect to that. Okay. And that is about right. And connect to there. Come on, wow, the lag is crazy. Okay. It's because it placed. And then we'll just go for, I suppose, a couple of these triple filters just to confirm everything. Large triple filters. Come on, hello. Come on, large triple filter. Right, apparently we're not going for those. This is doing something very, very strange. Large triple filter. Not allowing it. Okay, something's broke. There we go. No idea what happened then. So just add in a couple of these just as a redundancy measure in here. And that is just going to, that's blown me away how little filtration that actually needed. That's amazing. So now we can get on with the decoration of these tanks. What I may do is I'll cut away, I will give a few ideas, I'll get a few ideas in my head about what I want to do with these, and I'll place a few blocks down and see what happens. I think first though, just before we do leave, I will put these auto feeders in. So where are they? They are down here somewhere. Not in there. They are. Where are the auto feeders nowadays? Of course, the auto feeders aren't with the food at all. They are in the equipment section. So we'll grab a couple of these, and they will go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Come on, there we go. And across here as well. Oh, it looks like we can actually have them there. That's good. So we can actually put another couple of them in. So we can have one just there. Yeah, that looks okay. So these auto feeders will work to feed these fish. It will give us a lot more options for the staff in here. One thing I think I will do if I do a new version of this is try and work with the auto feeders a lot more. Especially once we get up to rank 12, if we're doing another sandbox type thing, is try and use these on just the regular ordinary tanks. See if we can minimise the amount of manual work, manual labour, manual feeding that our staff have to do. Anyway, let me have a look at the decor I want to put into here, play around with some ideas for that, and I will let you join back in a little bit. So this is what I've got done so far, and I do like it. However, I think these two look very similar. This is a cold water one, so it makes sense, but there's a lot of different stuff in this. It's supposed to be like a deep seabed type thing. However, this one is warm water. It's supposed to be a lot more shallow, and it looks very, very deep. So what I may do here is actually take some of these out. If we click on here, we can get rid of some of this really tall kelp, because I think that's what's really busying it up a bit too much. So if we have a look through some of these, we get rid of ones in the centre, ones like that, and which ones? That one. Then suddenly it starts opening it up a lot. I want some of these ones gone as well on this side. And that one, that one. That one can go. That one can go, and that's the one I want. Where was that one? There. Okay, so we've opened it up a bit. We can keep some of these in though to bring the height of the tank up a lot. However, I do think that, you know, I'd like to be able to get one of these in, for example, the gaping cavern. They do look very dwarfed in here though. If we come down to the bottom here, they do look good, but they hardly come up. They've not got much height on them at all. That's one of the things which is a bit of a shame with the vanilla stuff in this game, is that not a lot of it has any height to it. Because of course, this is the only really big tank, and there's nothing really geared towards this size of tank here. So even these pitted columns look massively tiny inside a tank like this. So even if we have some of the really biggest stuff in the game, in the vanilla game, then it still looks very shallow and really quite settled down to the bottom rather than reaching all the way up to the top. And that's why I do like these ones here, because they do give the height to the rockeries here. But I think this looks a lot better now than it did, because you've got a bit more, you're able to see a bit more into it. Whereas on this side, you kind of want it to be very, very busy, and this one not so busy, is my thoughts on it anyway. We'll close that one down. We've still got this one highlighted. It's a bit of a shame, but never mind. Anyway, we're going to get on to these bits now, because I think these are okay for the vegetation and stuff, and the rocks and the caves. So now coming over to this one, we can see we need 12 vegetation and 8 cave. So we can't use any of the big stuff in here, so we're going to have to use rocky. Oh no, that one sticks out the top anyway, so we're going to have to actually use driftwood caves, which still sticks up at the top. Wow. We're actually going to have to see if we can use these. So we're just going to have to stick 8 of these in for it to all be underwater. I mean, that's 7 and 8. It's not going to look amazing, this man, and we need 12 of the... yes, we can use a little Neptune grass, but that adds 3, so we actually only need 4 of these in total. But we can add this in all the way around like that, and that should fill that one in fine. Stress from being housed with something. Okay, so we'll get rid of those Balan rats. Get rid of those. That's you fine. This guy fighting conspecifics, I can only have 1 of you in. So we'll get rid of 1 of you. Lack of shelter, that's fine, we're going to put some in. And again, we're going to have to use, unfortunately, the small driftwood. I say unfortunately because it would be quite nice to actually have some of the rocks and stuff in here, but they're just too big. So that's that one okay, so we'll add in some sea lettuce into here, why not? A couple of sea lettuce and some eelgrass, maybe some asparagus weed as well. So put those in the centre there, and then we want the asparagus weed just to frame that a little. I really like adding that just to frame the eelgrass. And then we can add in some rocks into here as well. So we've got some live rocks, and maybe I'll add a large live rock in just there as well. So we'll put those in there. And we've got these, the medium live rock, just there. That seems okay. Just come down to the front. And yeah, nothing's actually sticking up out of the water there, which is good. In this one we need 12 vegetation. This is also a cold water tank, so we can add some of these in. That's actually all we need in there, so far as that goes. So we can add in, just make it a little bit more pretty. Add in some asparagus weed. Once the lag's cleared. And we'll go for some some eelgrass as well. Maybe in here we can go for some of the nice stuff down here. We'll go for, let's have a look, a shell. Why not? A couple of shells in there. And a, what else? An anchor. Why not? We need 12, wow, 12 cave in here. So let's have a look at this driftwood cave, just see if it looks really silly. So we've got that, we come down to here, it is sticking out the water slightly, and the idea with this tank is that you can walk over the top of it. So as we can see, it's not going to work at all, which is a shame. We'll get rid of that, get rid of those windows, and so yeah, again, we're going to need 12 of these the driftwood. Because we can't use a rocky overhang, we can't use a pitted column, definitely can't use one of these. This would look silly, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would just look silly. So yeah, we're going to have to use the small driftwood. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, one more. 12. Well, it does look a bit silly, I admit it, but it's what we're going to have to go with. So we'll stick a medium rock in there, and then some of the small live rocks. We'll make this one a very rocky area, just fill in the rest of it with rocks. That seems okay. It's not the best, but it'll do for now. It does look very busy, it looks a bit silly. I'll get rid of a couple of these. Like that. Looks a bit better. I'm okay with it like that. It's not great, but yeah, I'm not too sure what else I could add in there. Only using the shallow stuff. In here we need 11 rock, so that's actually going to be fairly easy. We'll go for a live rubble to get some of this. And also we can actually go for the tubular, whatever it's called. Where is it? This triangle turbine weed. No, we can't, that sticks out. Okay. So instead we'll go for some more rocks, I suppose. Go for more live rubble, like that. That gives us up to a 9 out of 11. So if we get 2 more of these live rocks, say there and there, and then how does this look around it? That doesn't look too bad actually. We'll go for a bit of the sea lettuce as well. I think we'll complement these like that, and then maybe a what else do we have? A conch, just like that. There we go. And then finally we have this tank where we need 5 of the rocks. So we'll go for a live rubble, and that gives us 9. So go for one of those in the centre, that gives us everything we need. We'll encircle this with some eelgrass, like that, and then some asparagus weed, like that. And we've got a couple of spaces left over, so we'll go for not that one, medium rock in the corner there. We'll go for a, let's see, one of the 1x1s, compass. We'll place that like that. I think that'll do, that's okay. What are these complaining about? Stress from being housed outside their genus. Okay, so what else have we got in here? In that case, we will get rid of the puppers, and we'll stick a couple more of those pipefish in because they are really, really small. Those pipefish, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that'll give us, come on, One more, please. There you go, I have a 9 in there. That'll be okay. That's okay. That's 36 points in total. This is a 50-point pool. We're still fine on points. And so that's it. That's everything we actually need. In here, this is looking very, very sparse. So we'll go for the eelgrass. There, and there, and there. And then the asparagus weed. Just filling up the rest of the spaces. I think that looks okay. These bits aren't great, but I'm finding the floor pools, just because mainly of the decorations that we've got in the game at the moment. The floor pools are difficult to actually manage when you have multiple fish in them. So as you can see with this one especially, we've had to use the small driftwood there, which is from Marnet, if you want to get that. To be able to put into here. One thing I do love about these small driftwood is that you can put them inside Toxo's 1x1 tanks, these podium tanks. So you can actually add a little bit of cave into these tanks. Because you can only fit 1 or 2 fish into here, it's usually okay to do that as well. So that's good. So now I can't actually believe I'm going to say this, but the only thing we need to do left in this entire aquarium is to put the food that we need for this room in. So in this tank here we need green food pellets, krill, supplement and herring. So across this wall here in the heating room we will need supplement, we'll need herring, we will want some, come on, you can see I'm fighting through the lag on this. Some krill and which one was it? Green pellets. We will also want that is supplement, herring and crab. So we want some more crab. We've got the crab there and go like that. So on here we have crab, herring and supplement. Yep. And then down here we're going to need mysis shrimp, crab and supplement. So we have the crab, we have the supplement, and we have the live mysis shrimp culture. And next we need mussels, krill, more mysis shrimp, Artemia and supplement. So Artemia, krill and mussels. So we'll get the mussels. The Artemia is bright green and the krill is purple, deep purple. Good band and good food apparently as well. So that is all of the food that's in. We could do with some these work tool stations, and we're going to need a few of these in. So we'll put 4 there, 1, 2, 3, 4 there, and I think we are okay to call that essentially done. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. What do you think of this room? What would you do different? Have I missed anything major out? And have I made any stupid mistakes with this? Because I'd be interested in knowing if I've done anything. One thing I haven't done is configured these. However, we would have to get some staff in to actually do that. The one problem I'm really having at the moment is unpausing the game tends to kill a lot of fish, because the place is too big to be able to get all the staff around to be able to feed all the fish in one go within one day. And the animations, much like if you played the main game, then once you get up to Metropolis on level 10, towards the end of the campaign your frames really start dropping. The game doesn't seem to be able to handle just the amount of stuff that you need to be able to complete the game, which is maybe a bit of an oversight, but an easy oversight to make, especially on the developer's part. Not blaming them at all. It's just one of those things, you know, with games like this, you have massive amounts of entities. It's going to cause lag. So this is it. This is our aquarium. This is where I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to build any more rooms in now, and I'm happy with everything that's gone on. So what I'm going to do is I'm hoping to produce one more episode of this, which may take a week or so to actually produce, because as I said at the beginning of this episode, I want to be able to come down here to ground level and actually walk around this aquarium. However, as you can see, there are plenty of bugs and frame rate issues I need to work out at the moment. So keep an eye out on the channel for that. I want to thank each and every one of you for your help, for your support, and it's just been overwhelming the amount of new faces I've seen on this channel as a result of this game. It has been brilliant, and I love every single one of you for joining along with me. I really hope that you stick along with this channel. We will have more Megaquarium stuff in the future, I'm sure, and I will probably start live streaming this again in the future as well. So yes, I want to say one last time, thank you for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will see you next series.